Greetings. You might have asked yourself, what on earth am I here for? Or what on earth am I doing? Quite significant questions to ask, aren't they? Ones that could help you to unlock the purpose of your life and unleash you into a glorious destiny. But that begs for an answer to the question, how am I going to find my purpose? Who will tell me? How can I discover it? We already looked at 4 key elements that could help you to unlock or identify the purpose of your life. Firstly, we looked at knowing your identity, that you are created by God for a fruitful life work. Secondly, we looked at intentionally investing in what really matters. What is of greater value and worth? You discover your purpose, thirdly, by identifying what you're naturally inclined to do and what interests you the most. Fourthly, we looked at discovering your purpose by developing your inherent talents and even your hidden potentials. Now, today we're going to look at the 5th one. You discover your purpose when you're willing to solve issues that you see around you. That's another great way of discovering and developing and using what God has given to you. One of the great ways to live out a purposeful life is to not ignore the issues that you see around you. What problems can you solve? What answers do you have? What solutions and ideas can you bring to the table? What impossibilities do you see in the midst of impossible situations or in a crisis moment? What can you reverse for the good? If you are able to see something or do something positive that bring about a change in the middle of a crisis or a need, you are most likely to be living out the purpose of your life. A company moved into a new skyscraper and discovered that the builder apparently had not put in enough elevators. And the employees who worked in that building were disgruntled because there were long waits for the elevators, because they would go up all the way up so many floors and come down. It would take a long time. Especially at both ends of the working day, morning and evening, people would wait in long queues to use the elevator to go up or go down. The company got a wide cross section of the staff together and asked them to sit down and solve the problem. And the task force came up with 3 solutions. Number one of them said, let's speed up the elevators or arrange for them to stop only at certain floors during rush hours. The second solution that the team gave was stagger the working hours in each floor, where employees come and go at different times to reduce the elevator demand at either end of the day. The third solution that was presented was drive a new elevator, put out a new shaft through the floors and put a new elevator into the building. Which solution would you have chosen? One said, let's install mirrors around the entrances of all the elevators. That was a 4th solution. What is the solution? Install mirrors around the entrances of all the elevators. What way is that a solution to this issue? It worked. Interestingly, it worked. People became so preoccupied with looking at themselves or at others that they no longer noticed the time they waited for the elevator to come. The problem was not so much the lack of elevators as much as the impatience of the employees. The problem was solved. That unique ability to solve a problem could be a key for you to spending this whole year filled with a purpose. You could be an answer for many issues. You could be a leader for those groping in the dark. You could be an encouragement for the discouraged. In Joseph's life in the Old Testament, he comes and actually interprets a dream for Pharaoh, and he doesn't stop with just using his gift. But along with using his gift of interpreting dreams, he goes ahead and says, now let Pharaoh look for a man who is able to manage all of this and solve the problem that is coming. And he also gave the solution to the problem, though the problem had not yet arrived. And he said this food should be held in reserve for the country to be used during the 7 years of famine that will come upon Egypt, so that the country may not be ruined by famine. And it says that the plan seemed good to Pharaoh and all his officials. So Pharaoh asked them, "Can we find anyone else like this man in whom the Spirit of God is?" You see, he was able to identify the issue and find and come up with a solution, an answer to the issue that unleashed him to living out a meaningful life and fulfilling God's purpose in his life. And so a problem, an issue that you can solve, is something that actually helps you to live out your purpose. He went beyond his gift. What truly unlocked the door of elevation for him and brings significance and purpose for him is the ability for him to find a solution and propose a solution. That helped him. It's not just good enough to be talented. It's knowing how to use your talents. He lived out a very significant, purposeful life. His life literally had a global impact in his day. And the Bible says in chapter 41 of Genesis in verse 57, that all the world came to Egypt to buy grain from Joseph because the famine was severe everywhere. All the world came to this one man because he had a solution. Thus, the fifth step in living a purposeful year or a life of purpose is by having the ability to solve issues. May God bless you as you go forward into this year to live out a meaningful, purposeful life. God bless you.